So morning or afternoon, because obviously it depends when you're actually watching this, but this is going to be, and I haven't sorted my hair out as always, you're used to that by now I hope. This is going to be my 2021, end of 2021 WIP parade. So there's not going to be too much sort of other chatter, because I've got a lot of WIPs to show, as you can see by this kind of teetering pile over here. So to try and keep this one not too long, I'm just going to have it as a WIP parade. I'm going to show my finishes in a separate video, and I'll also show my knitting and crochet WIPs in a separate video. So obviously if you don't want to watch those, or you only want to see the finishes, in that you can. Today is New Year's Eve, so I'm not, you know me well enough, I'm not going to be getting it up today. I probably won't be getting it up tomorrow, so it may be up at some point next week. I mean, I'm hoping to do it a bit quicker than normal, but yes, so you'll be seeing this in the new year, so I hope you had a lovely new year. And we're going to start. So we're going to start with my two Hades. I've got my list, so hopefully I won't forget anything, she says. So we're going to start here. I'll be putting up photos of what they should look like, and then I'll put a photo of where it was at the start of the year, at the start of 2021, if I have those pictures. Obviously if it was a new start, then there won't be one, and then obviously you'll see where it is now. So this is my Amazing Animal Kingdom. So this is a Haid design, designed by Amy Stewart. It's the Amazing Animal Kingdom bookshelf, supersize max colour. So this one has I believe somewhere around the 286 colours, I think, maybe, or 186, I'll write it in, and it is 999 stitches wide by 745 high, sorry, 765 high. But yeah, and I am almost at 4%, so I'm at 3.95%. I was hoping to reach 50%. Oh gosh, that would have been a miracle. I was hoping to reach 5% by the end of the year, but I just haven't stitched on it much the last couple of months, so didn't get the last bit in. But my goal is for this to be a 20-year project, so you know, I can spread the time out over the rest of the years. So I started it in December 2019. So I started it right at the end of 2019, coming into 2020. Did I? That doesn't sound right. It must be. But yeah, so I've been working on this for a year. Is it a year? Yeah, it must be a year. So I've gone off on a tangent already. So this is a year's progress on this one. But yeah, so you can see I'm working in diagonals, parking, sort of using a rough version of Brian's diagonal parking method, Brian at Blitz Stitch. He has a few videos detailing that over on his channel. So I've worked up here, so I've got the sea lions, I've got the big polar bear, two of the polar bears, the little polar bear cub has come in. This is another seal. This is a seal pup. This is and like an Arctic goat. I can't think of the right words. And then this is a deer. So this is sort of on the autumn-y shelf, the woodland shelf. And this is going to be a little grizzly bear cub, little cave, and that's a little bird's nest. But yeah, so this is 2 over 1/10 stitch on 28 count coffee linen from 123 stitch. So yeah, using DMC. So that is my big Haid. And then this one, so this one I have been working on for 2 years. So I managed to reach exactly 40% in this one. So this is my other Haid. This is Bath Time by Selena Fenwick. Oh, and like I said, I'm 40%, so again, this is diagonal. So I've reached this top corner here, so I'm starting to come down now. And this is all kind of blocks of colour, so that's why that's kind of come out instead of being in diagonals. But yeah, so again, Hay Design, this is on 25 count off-white, even weave, and I'm doing 1/1 full cross on this one. So you see I've got the sort of the flowers that are on the bath starting to come through. I've got her second tail fin, her other tail fin coming through there as well. But yeah, I love how her face has come out and her hands, they're perfect. So this one is 40%, like I said, and I'm hoping to get this done within 5 years. So I'm 2 years into that, and fingers crossed, I should get that done. So I've worked it out that my goal for next year would be to do about sort of 3,500 to 4,000 stitches a month on each, and then that will keep me on track for my goals that I want to get. So I want to get up to obviously 60% on my bath time and 10% on my Animal Kingdom. So I will just double check those figures because they don't sound quite right. But yeah, if they are different, future Zoe will deal with that, and she'll write that in for me. So they are my two Hades. Now, because they're on the frames, that's why I showed those. These are all off frame, and I'm going to go through just box by box. There's no particular order, I don't think, to any of these. It was basically what fitted in each box. But yeah, apart from this box, which nothing really fits in. So this is all a smish smash. So we'll start with this awful box first. But yeah, so this is, what is this? This is my newest piece. So this is going off from Kaylee Cross Stitch's Van Govember Sal. So this is going to be my mini artwork series by the Stitch Patterns on Etsy. So I'm going to make basically do her mini artwork and do all of the, well, I say all of the minis, probably not all of them, but a little series of the minis, and then get them all in little frames. So this is the mini Starry Night Van Gogh, and this is on 28 count 1/1 on white even weave using the DMC. I don't know if that sort of showed up quite dark there, but this is the bottom is all greens. But yeah, so that is my newest start. Let's tuck that over there. Right. So for my Whipopoly, one of the squares to land on says to work on my newest WIP. So at the minute, that is my newest WIP. Obviously, if I start something new, then that will then be my next new. You know what I mean. So at the minute, that's my newest. So then next I have, this is my Glitter House Sal. So this is by one or the other, Country Cottage Needleworks. So I got this as a Sal sort of kit wise from Patchwork Rabbit. So this is using the cooled on fabric. So it's an opalescent 32 count, I think, sort of natural colour. So it has got, you can sort of see the shine, the glitters in it. So I finished the first 6 houses. Well, the middle one's a church, and I was just starting on this bottom one. So this last row of 3, when I realised that I was missing a piece. I still haven't found the missing segment, but I'm pretty sure it's around here somewhere, because I'm also missing a segment of the Prairie Schooler ones that I bought at the same time. However, I'm missing like a different segment, so clearly I've put them together somewhere and don't know where they are. So I will be carrying on with that. I will find the other segment at some point, and they will go together. So that is my Glitter Village Sal. So none of these other ones really have a goal on, you know, to get how much I want doing. It's mainly just to work on them as I can. So then this one is next. This is Pandemic Long Dog samplers. So this is on a piece of fabric from, I can't remember what it is. The name's very similar to someone else. Crafty Kit. I'll have to write it in because I don't want to get them wrong. So this is Autumn Sunset or something. And I'm using white silk from Silks For You, and this is 40 count. And I'm doing this 2/1. So I've only done, you know, that little corner really there. And then I did the bottom board all the way along just to make sure it would actually fit on the fabric. But yeah, so I do really like this fabric. Unfortunately, I'm having a couple of issues with the sale of the fabric. I had bought several pieces from her and didn't receive them all. So it's now been almost a year, well, over a year now. So almost 2 years. And I'm not hearing anything back from them. I know a few other people have had issues as well, but you know, we'll see. So like I said, I'm actually using white Silks For You hank, which is lovely and soft. But yes, so next is a crinkly one. This is Harriet Salt. So this is Harriet Salt, 1866, orphan number 1628. So this is a red sampler, Bristol sampler. I am not doing it in red. I am using, again, I'm using a Silks For You hank number PR148, so it's sort of all pinks. It's not nearly as red as that. Teals, purples, and sort of pink. It's like the 917 pink there. And this is on 56 count over 2. And let's get it open. And I've finished the first alphabet. So, and there it is. So yeah, teeny tiny stitches. This one it does look so lovely and delicate, but I can't work on it for too long because the stitches are so tiny. But yeah, there they are. So I just started on the second alphabet here. And I'll be doing this as charted, apart from there are a couple of sections in the sampler where Harriet deviated from the alphabets to put in like her bed number and some different initials, which I think are either the bed numbers of her friends or things. And I'm hoping to change them to sort of initials and dates that are relevant to me. So obviously we'll see as we go on there. So then this is a small piece of Ada. This is ink circles. This is ink circles, castle walls. So I bought this one after seeing, oh gosh, Darling Bluebell, Mika, Darling Bluebell stitching on it. And I picked similar colours to her, so I have PR147 and PR069, again silks from Silks For You, and this is the way up. This is on a 36 count even weave fabric flare in cloud grey, and I'm just over halfway now. So this was my new year, new start in 2020. I had hoped to have it done within the year, obviously not. But yeah, so just over halfway. I really love stitching on this piece. This one, with it being just the two colours, it makes it really easy to stitch sort of my two-handed technique. because I haven't got to worry about stopping and changing on the colours. So when I do work on that, I tend to get on quite quick on that one. So, oh, that's not going to go back in, is it? Of course not, that would be too easy. Come on. Right. So, or would that be, yeah, and they're the two silks together. So I do sort of give a better definition of the colours in one of my previous videos. It's called What Exactly is PR147, and I actually go through what, I match it up to DMC colours, if you wanted to know that one. So that is Pandemic. And last one for this box, this is my chatelaine. So this is Pomerium by Chatelaine that I bought. And I'll have it the right way up this time because I always have the selvage at the top, so that I know that's the top. But yeah, and we're sort of just working on the centre part of the mandala there. So I've added in some of the specialty stitches. So I've done some of the eyelet stitches, and what else is in there? There's some satin stitch, some sort of woven stitches, and eyelet stitches as well. Is it? No, road stitches. So using some sparkles and some specialty threads in there as well. So yeah, so that is my chatelaine, and I'm doing that on the kit from European Cross Stitch, and it's on the recommended fabric that came with the kit. So I think it's a 28 count, 32 count maybe, white even weave. So, and that is that one. And that is box number 1 done. So now I can try and get all these back in the box where they don't actually fit, but you know, we can pretend they all fit in the box, can't we? Add a piece of Ada there for no discernible reason. Right, so we'll keep that one out. So box number 2. Oh, swapsies. Box number 2. So this is, oh, this is my temperature tree sal. So this is patterned by Stitching Mummy, and this is on 36 count cloudstone even weave. And this is the tree for my area in 1991. I'm going to be doing 2 trees so they can hang next to each other. One for the year I was born, 91, and one for the current year when I turned 30, which was 21. And yeah, so I'm just over, I think I'm just coming up to the August branch on this one. After looking at the temperatures, I was a bit miffed because I had done the temperature ranges that were suggested on the pattern without really looking at what those ranges were, and it turns out I think my top 3 or 4 colours aren't going to be used at all, so which is a bit of a shame. But and then the bottom 2 aren't going to be used. But you know, I'm not pulling out all of those leaves to restart. So I will carry on as it is, and then if I do a different temperature sal in the future, I can decide to match up the temperatures then. So there we go. So next I have Twilight Fairies. So this is a dimensions piece, and I think I'd started just a teeny tiny little start right at the bottom of it, just there. So teeny tiny little start, barely even a start. So but yes, but I need to find, because I haven't got my list in here. I think that's probably why I only did a little bit of it, because I haven't got the list of like how many threads to use, so with it being a dimensions piece. So I need to see if I can get hold of another list at at some point, so we'll see. So what is this one? This one is Place du Marche. So that is this piece. This is a Michael Powell kit, so it's a triptych, but I'm doing all 3 pieces together. So it is, what is it? We've got a grocer's, a florist's and a restaurant. And I've just made a small star in the top corner. So this is a 36 count, no, 32 count. And I've sort of just started in the top corner. So this one I was working sort of more cross country. Hello Coco. Just because of how the colours were laid out. Coco, you're not helping. You can't sit on my head. Come on. Right, you're gonna come over here. Yeah. You gonna say hello? Say hello to all your fans. Yeah, good girl. You're gonna sit with me. Yeah. Right. So yeah. So I started. Sort of this is I believe the first sort of section or the first page width and working down. So yeah, so that is the full kit. So that is an anchor, using anchor threads. That one is right. Then my next kit is a Bothy Threads kit. So this is Afternoon Nap. So 3 little boxes. So I am doing this on the cord 4 Ada, which is 14 count Ada. Sort of it's the speckled Ada, and that's my tiny little star right in the middle, little white blob just there, and that was it. I think this was my 24 hours of cross stitch start. So, and I haven't worked on that since. So teeny tiny start on that one. Then this is, if I can get it out, this is my bookshelf piece, I think. So this is by Make Your Own Hands, sort of Russian design. And that is how far I'd got. So I'd got the whole middle bit done and just starting on the outsides. So this is on 14 count, and it's worked over with 3 threads, apart from sort of the background in here is worked with 1. And then I think I'm going to do, when I come to do the background, I'll probably work that just using 2 threads, or 1 thread as well. But I haven't decided. It wasn't until I was already probably about this far that I then realised that I could have changed the fabric out for a bit of hand-dyed sort of brown fabric, and then I wouldn't have had to do a background at all. But I'd already got this far. So there we go. It's going to be quite a long piece. That way. So I still love this piece. I know there's a few people that are doing it, and I've kind of fell out of love with it, but I still like this piece. So when I can work out how to fold it back up again. There we go. So yeah, that's Kingdom of Books. That one's called. Then next is a DMC kit. So this is Turkish Angora. So I'd already done one of the cats. I think I'd done the Persian cat a few years ago. So this is the next one that I'm doing. So I just started sort of in the top corner, sort of this corner here. Again, I think I started this one during 24 hours of cross stitch and haven't really worked on that since. So, I mean, you'll see in the before photos whether I've actually worked on them or not this year, because I genuinely can't remember. Sorry. Yes. And this piece I haven't worked on for a long time because I lost it. I hadn't lost it, I just misplaced it. But this piece I was using on soluble canvas. So this piece is called Charlotte, Lady Charlotte. and it is a John Clayton piece. So I am mirror imaging it and doing it on soluble canvas on the bottom of my old work apron. So I sort of just started on the hat here, and I didn't think it quite through because there are a lot of fractional stitches and like half stitches, which you can't do on soluble canvas. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this on here or if I'm going to take it off and sort of work on, you know, a regular piece of fabric, but I haven't decided, so we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I probably will carry it on with this, but yeah, I mean, it's been a good few years since I picked that bit up, so hopefully it's not too bad now that I go back to it. And yes, that is that box. So try and get everything back in. So there we go. There is box number 2. Done. So just gonna have a quick break. There we go, break over. So Coco's quite happy sitting on top of my pillows. So not helping, but you know, not getting in the way either. So we are ready to start our third box. Let me pop that up there for a moment. Box number 3. So I hope I remember to keep a little tally of what I've got. So let's start. So this is a Gold Collection Petite. So this is Voyage at Sea. So it's that one. Again, I believe this was just a sort of small start that I did for 24 hours of cross stitch. Yeah, so I've just done tiny white blob in the middle. But yeah, teeny tiny white bit. So yeah, I'm not too sure if I want to carry on with that one or not. So I'll have to have a think about that because I might not want to continue with that one. I don't know. I'm not too sure about Twilight Fairies either. So I'll have to have a think about that the next couple of days. So then we've got the Janlin Cooler Design Studio Winter Sampler. Again, I saw Blitz Stitch Brian doing this piece. I really liked this one. So I'm doing this on a piece of 36 count even weave cloud brown, and I've just done the sort of countdown piece just here. So yeah, so that's that piece. So I do quite enjoy this piece, would like to continue with it. So you know, not that I've worked on it at all this year, but yeah. So my next piece, this is a dimensions piece. This piece is on the wall of I can't remember her channel name. I'll have to insert it in here. But she's done this piece and it sits behind her when she's doing her videos. So this is Sunlit Fox by Dimensions. And I have done just a wee bit in the middle. Ooh. Sort of just sort of the top of this piece here, I think. So that is that. So not too much for the start. Again, I think that could have been a 24 hours cross stitch piece. Can't remember. But yeah, that was that piece. And this is Sea in a Bottle by Masha Brovko. Cute Patterns by Maria. So it's like a ship in a bottle with little creatures, and I had just started along the bottom of the piece there. So I'd just been doing the ground and sort of the outline of a couple of the shells on the bottom. So I do much prefer this piece to the other voyage piece, but not sure. Neither of which have been worked on, I don't think. So my next one, this is another Jan Lin piece. This is Virtuous Woman. So it's taken off the Proverbs 31. There may be a couple of bits that I changed there, but on that one, and all I've done for that is the very tippity top border, or half of the top border. I think I took that on guide camp to do, so because it was doing the border was going to be easy. It's just, you know, little blocks all the way along, so which is good for that one. Then this one is what is this? Oh, this is Woodland Creatures by Lakeside Needlecrafts. So it's a Doing Jones design, and it was a sal that came out a few years ago, and I believe when I went on a retreat I saw a lady doing it and sort of fell in love with that. So it was sit on the called for fabric, which was a 36 count. It was the Woodland, it was the Lakeside Needlecraft exclusive piece, and I was just working on the first section, which was the owl. No. So, but yeah, still really like that piece. Would like it better if it was finished. So next is, what is this piece? Next, that is potentially one of my new starts. That is all kitted up and ready to go. So haven't actually started it yet though. So I will show you that when I start. As is that one. And this one, I think. You know, because I'm, of course, highly organised. And I keep all my new starts in with, you know, all of my not new starts. Yeah. This one, I'm not sure if I actually want to start it or not. Have I got the actual picture anywhere? Because that would, because this is all pattern. No, that is just the floss list. No, so I haven't got the picture on there. But yeah, I haven't decided if I want to start that one yet or not. So we'll work that out. But that is the end of box number 3. So we're nearly there. 2 boxes left to go. So box number 4. So this is Tea Time by Soda Stitch. This one I've worked on recently, so yeah, love working on this piece. It's 14 count Ada, super easy to stitch. I am sort of hoodwinking the pattern a little bit. I'm adding in sort of half stitches and quarter stitches where there weren't, just to, so it's not as blocky, just personal preference really. But I've done the first bit of cake and I'm working on the teapot. And it's the mini tea time. I've also got the mini cookie time somewhere to do as well. And I think someone's been sleeping on the top of this box. Yes, there is fur just on the very top of some of these bags. I wonder if it was you, Coco. Were you sleeping on the box? Yeah, more than likely. So then this is my Ink Circles map sal. So it's a make your own adventure sal. And this I bake and basted this. It's a piece of 36 count. It's probably nearer 37 now. Even weave, just from Hobbycraft. And I was doing it in portrait mode. So I'd done the compass rose there, done the border, done my ocean lines, see, you know, coastlines. And I had sort of, I think just finished sort of the mermaid, and I was just starting some creature, maybe whale. Yeah, I think it was a whale there. There's no whales there. Little pirate ship, little island. But yes. Oh, lighthouse. So some of these pieces some of the motifs I'm stitching over one, and some I'm stitching over two. There is an eel hanging off. That is not good. Let's tuck that back in somewhere. So yeah, some pieces are being done over one, some over two, depending on how much space I want them to take up. Oh, hi Coco. But yeah. So my next WIP is, this is another piece by Maria, Cute Patterns by Maria. This is Full Moon. So I have changed, I've basically sort of taken the snout off of the fox just to make it look more like a cat. And obviously instead of the snout, it's now just the rest of the moon. So that's how far I got. So this is on a piece of 36 count linen from Picture This Plus. I'm not entirely sure what linen it is. But yeah, so teeny tiny sample piece, but yes, so that is that one. So next piece is this one is a old piece that my aunt was stitching, I believe, and it is a couple of feng shui symbols. So we had harmony and peace, and there's literally just the two little borders to stitch in left. So that is my piece that's nearest to finish, because that'll only take an hour maybe, she says. So hoping to get that one done obviously this year. Next is in a hoop. Why is it in a hoop? This is my little dragon piece, Tempest in a Teacup by Teresa Wintzler. But for some reason I left it in its hoop when I put it in its teeny tiny little baggie, which was not the best idea in the world. Right, put all the threads in, there we go. And that's how far I'd got. So just a couple of the purples, both blended colours coincidentally. But yeah, so that's the tail, and that's I think a bit of its chest there. So I'm gonna pop that out of its hoop so that I can actually stick in its box, bag, not box. But yeah, I think I started that when Dina at Half Stitch Cross Stitch did her Teresa Wintzler sale. So I started that piece then. Right, next. So this piece is another Gold Collection Petites. So this is Seashell Treasures, and this piece, so doing it on the kit fabric using as called for, and a bit of a tangle of threads in here. Try and straighten them out a little bit. There we go. So I've just sort of started on the first seashell there, and I've done a bit of the border colour across there. So I think that's one of my smallest pieces, I believe. Actually, I think that is my smallest piece. Is it? Smallest. No, the dragon is To Eat Some Winter piece is actually the smallest. And that's the second smallest though. Right, so next, this is a Sal, what was it called? High Street Sal by Little Dove Designs. So this one I started during Mania last year, I believe, or 2020. And there we go. And I only got sort of 3.5 of the shops done. So I got the florist, the winery, the boutique, and part of the cafe. There's still two more shops to go. So this was on the called for Ada. And I was kind of following the pattern, but I did make a few changes. There's a video from 2020 where it goes through in detail the changes I made. So I basically made the daisies using Lazy Daisy stitch. I used French knots for the topiaries. I added one of my late cats in. I added Lucy in over one in the winery, and I made the dresses out of fabric that I stitched on instead. So instead of cross stitch, but yeah. So that is that piece. So yeah, not too much left to do really on that, but again, like some of them, it's if I actually took them out to work on, they wouldn't take too long to be done. Right, where was I? Done that one. Right, this is Fantastic Fungi Sal by, did I write it down? Nope, I did not. But this is the Fantastic Fungi Sal, so I only got partway through of it. So I think I've got 3 or 4 of the mushrooms done on that one. Then next is Humans After All. This was by Clouds Factory. So this is done on the called for fabric and using all the called for threads. So this is using some of the Etoile threads. So I've done sort of about 2/3 of the top 2 rows were done as we went along. So yeah, not too bad. So I think I'd only made a couple of small changes on there. I think just in like one of the writing. I think the Gutermann press, I actually put a G for Gutermann on it instead of the squiggle that was on it. And a couple of other little things. But yeah. So pop that one back in. Oh. Right, 2 more in this box, in this box, yes. So this is another Bothy Threads one, so another Rendell design. This is Awakening, so this is Hedgehog, and this one, again, not much of a start. Again, using the called for fabric with the speckles, and I just sort of started a little beige bit in the middle there. Oh, getting cat hair up my nose now. Right. And then last one out of this box is my Swan in the Moonlight kit design. This was one that I'd done years ago, 2007. This is the pattern. I made the pattern myself. If you feel like copying it from that, you are more than welcome. I haven't got a picture of what it's going to look like when it ends, because I didn't actually think to keep a picture. But yeah, so we've got, let's see, so Moonlight Inspirations, that's what this says. And then we've got the moon, and then over here is going to be a tree. And then down here I have just started some of the white for the swan, and then I went back to sort of parking. So a lot of this is like the horizon, so it's swathes of colour, so I'm just working on that now. But yeah, so, oh, and I was parking in the moon, so there was a lot of colours there. But yeah, so that is my oldest WIP by a long way. So what I'm doing is sort of photocopying parts of the pattern and blowing it up, because I'd actually printed it really tiny and I can't see it very well. So, but yeah, so that is box number 4. So last box. Put the hoop out of the way. So, oh, this was a piece I had started for a friend, and then I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, so I then stopped. I wasn't sure. But yeah, so it's the state of Florida, and then there's sort of flowers here, and also I didn't like the colours the flowers were in. I believe that's all the black done, so that was all the state. I just had to decide what colours I was going to be doing the flowers. So, and that was just using Anchor Black for that, because I do prefer the coverage of Anchor Black to DMC Black. Then this is my other full coverage. So this is 3 Baby Dragons. This is in grayscale by Shiny Suns cross stitching. I was hoping to get a digital copy of it, but she hasn't sort of got back to me about that, so I may still have to work from the paper, which, you know, isn't great, but we shall continue. So the design is by Misty Woodkay, and I was working along. I did well, there was quite a lot of just the plain black, so I took that away with me to do as a travel piece, just because sort of all of this is black and all of this is black, and then I sort of started parking in where the dragon wings are. But yeah, so I haven't been back on that. Oh, then my sort of dragon needle minders, I've got a couple of there. So yes, so that is my non-Haid full coverage piece that I have. Oops. And that one I believe uses a lot of black in, so it did well for a travel piece because I could sort of outline an area and then just fill it in. Yeah. So next, this is my memorabilia. So this is portrait of Veronica that I'm doing for Marie Curie. There's a piece of her, for her, no, of her, with greens, and I'm going to put some of the names of the Radium girls in glow in the dark thread around it. So that is what I've done so far. So on the top half of the page, so I'm doing the skin over one, using the similar feathering technique that I did to the with my Dark Queen, and yeah, done much better. I think this is just where some beads are going, but I've done part of the arm of the chair, and coming up to. So yeah. Then next is another dimensions piece. This is Max the Cat. Sort of it's a triptych it's done, and I'm doing this on a 36 count Picture This Plus oaken. See, I kept the little baggie so I would know what it was. So yeah, and I think I've done all of the background for the first, the top picture, so all that was left to do was to fill in the cat. I think I'd just started sort of some of the sort of grey, light grey there. The reason I was doing it on this instead of the called for fabric was I felt that this sort of matched the picture better than the called for fabric did. So Obviously with this being a 36 or 8, you know, an 18 count instead of a 14, I am having to change some of the way I stitch it. So there are some places where the pattern calls for you to use 5 strands, and that's not going to happen. So I'm having to sort of use, obviously my initiative as to whether, you know, how many strands to use in certain places. So that is that one. And this piece was gifted by a friend, so I don't know the designer of this piece. So this is like a cat's, just all looking, sat on a shelf, and that is just part of the central cat there. And I've just noticed I've managed to do the middle colour, the crosses going one way, and all of the rest, the crosses go the other way. Oh well. So, not a lot I can do for that for now. I am not unpicking all of those stitches just for that. Right. Let's tuck these back in there. Tuck, tuck, tuck. There we go. Then this one is from Ultimate Cross Stitch Travels sort of book, and I'm doing Maps and Mythology by Maria Diaz. So that one, I'm doing this 36 count over 1, 1 over 1, and I've sort of done Africa and Asia so far. Definitely getting dusty now. And then last but not least is my Doodlecraft Designs colorist chessboard. So it's black work piece, well I suppose it's black work and cross stitch ish. Cross stitch used to outline all the blocks. So this is sort of a cross stitch border, and then the black work inside. So this is on a 18 count, I think. Is it 18 or 16? It's on whatever count came with the kit. I think it's a 16. But yeah. So the only change I'm making to this is all of the inside borders are like 2 rows of cross stitch, whereas the outside one was only 1 line. And I didn't quite like the way that looked, so I'm doing 2 rows around the outside, and then I'll just have to edit the black work piece to make sure it doesn't clash, it doesn't sort of smash in. But yeah, so there we go. So it's quite nice to get into a rhythm of sort of doing each square. But yeah, and that is it. There we go. And I believe, well I hope, because I'm out of boxes, that is all my cross stitch whips. So yes, what is that, 54 minutes? So yeah, under an hour. Ooh. So I believe there was 30 something. What have we got? 39 I think, or 38. I don't know, hopefully I'll have had a running tally somewhere, if I remember. But yeah, so they are all my whips. So my Animal Kingdom is the largest, my Swan in the Moonlight is the oldest, Tempest is the smallest, Peace and Love is the closest to a finish, and my newest one is the mini artwork series, the Van Gogh pieces. And yeah, oof. So there we go, that wasn't too bad, hopefully. So yes, that concludes my 2021 WIP parade for all my cross stitch pieces. So I will be doing my knitting and crochet pieces on a separate video. I will do that another day, and then I will show all my finishes as a finished parade sort of on a separate day, or with my sort of one of my January videos. But yeah, so, and starting obviously in January, we'll be going through some of my stash and clearing out some of my stash, so there will be some giveaways. And obviously if I in between time decide that I don't want to work on any of these WIPs, then they will be in the giveaways as well. But yes, so thank you for watching, if indeed you still are, and yeah, hope you had a lovely new year, and I'll let you go. So yeah, so thank you very much. So I love you lots, and take care. Bye.